let him know. We're good.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Danvers Zoning Board of Appeals. We are now in session. I would like to ask everyone if they could either turn off any mobile devices or set them to silent so we are not interrupted. I will stop the meeting by introducing our board. And all the way down to my right is Chris Dembowski. We have Corrine Doherty. Our clerk tonight is Ken Scholes. Myself, John Bowner, is as the chairman. To my left is Ken Jarvinen, Becky Kilborn, and our other alternate is Kevin Beerich. Do I have that pronunciation right? Berich, sorry, thank you. I'm practicing. I won't go over the procedure because I believe the one applicant tonight is firmly familiar with it. However, I will introduce our planning director, Mr. Brian Zakelli, and anybody, I just will remind anyone that if you're going to speak, we are on Danvers Cable, and to please go to the microphone. Do not speak from your chairs. Identify yourself and your address. And with that said, I would entertain a motion to accept our minutes from the July 28th meeting.
So moved.
All members were in receipt of that. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, I've got a second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Great, thank you. We've got two cases on tonight. One's a continued, and I think we can get right into it, Mr. Clerk. So if you could read our continued case.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Our first case is continued, 342 Andover Street, zoned R3, map 39, lot 010A. Requests a finding to expand a non-existing non-conforming use of the property to allow landscaping business that park in the rear of the property to also be able to park in the front of the building. Additionally, an expansion of the use of the main building to allow other businesses to rent professional or general office space inside the building as the dental lab is no longer operational. The request is made by Guy Costanza, docket 25-5108. Mr. Chairman, we are in receipt of an email from Mr. Costanza. He's requesting a continuance for the next available meeting, which would be September 8th. Hearing that allows sufficient time for me to acquire the necessary certified plot plan, along with any other needed documents that are required for our expanded use request for 342 Andover Street. As you know, we were originally scheduled for August 25th, but we need more time for everything required.
Before I make that motion, I believe he asked for the meeting after that. Is that correct?
So no, so it's correct. He originally asked for that September 8th meeting, but after talking with him and his potential, he's in the midst of choosing his engineer. But in the middle of talking that, I was like, "There's no point in putting 9/8. Like, you don't even have a chance. You might as well go to the next one
I think,
after that. So
September.
at least you could either give an update, or maybe you'll have something in hand."
So I believe we're going to move that to September 22nd.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. That's that,
9/22.
So
that is the request.
members,
So
we're
moved
going
to
to
September 22nd.
thank you. We've got a motion and we got a second to continue this case to September 22nd. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Very good. And we can move on to the next case.
All right. Our first regular item is 25 Pope's Lane. This is Highway Corridor Zone. Request a variance from section 9.3.B.2, A and C, to allow for 4 storage containers to be located on the property, 2 of which will be located in the rear yard setback. A special permit is also requested for the 4 storage containers to be located on the property until the new contractor building is constructed. The removal of the existing non-conforming building, which is 9.1 feet from the side lot line, and the reconstruction of a new non-conforming building 22 feet from the side property line, and to allow 1 storage container adjacent to the existing building until its demolition, section 3.B.2.B and 3.C.9. Additionally, a finding is requested to allow the reconstruction or change of the existing non-conforming structure, which improves the setback from 9.1 feet to 22 feet, Section 3.11. The request is made by MJD Property Group, LLC, care of Nancy McCann, Esquire, docket 25-5110.
Thank you. Attorney McCann, it looks like you've almost checked every box on our application, so.
It does look that way, but
Yeah.
it really is a rather simple application, and hopefully it will appear that way once we're
Well,
done
take
with
it
our
away.
presentation.
Tell us what you'd like to do.
Thank you very much. My name is Nancy McCann. I'm here on behalf of the applicant, MJS Property Group, LLC, at 25 Popes Lane. The property is located in the Highway Corridor Zoning District. With me tonight is Michael Seelig, principal of the applicant, as well as Jay Polakowitz with Hancock Associates, who is the project engineer. And Mr. Seelig acquired the property back in 2018. In 2019, and prior to that as well, the zoning relief was granted both by this board as well as by the planning board to allow the contractor's yard on this property. And since 2019, contractor's yard has been operated by Mr. Seelig here. It is a successful business, and at this point, he would like to revise the property so it works more effectively and more efficiently and more neatly by removing the existing building, which was built as a single-family home. And since 2018, it's been used as a contractor's yard, but it really wasn't ever designed as a contractor's yard. So the proposal is to remove that existing single-family style home, which is only about 9 feet from the property line, and construct a new building designed for the contractor's yard business, and that will be 22 feet from the side setback, so significantly improving the nonconformity and improving the general layout by designing a building that's appropriate for the site. This will also allow us to address the storage container issue on the site, because once the building is built, no storage containers will be needed going forward for this business. So, again, we think this proposal is going to improve the appearance of the site, make it much neater, and bring it more into compliance with the zoning bylaws. So we're proposing to remove the existing building and construct a new building that is more conforming, to place 4 storage containers on the site, limited in time until the building is constructed. We anticipate it could be as early as 6 months, but it could be as much as a year. And I've indicated in the application we've requested up to a year of time for those storage containers. Since the application was submitted, actually, one of the storage containers is left. So we really only need approval for 3 storage containers rather than the requested 4. We're requesting to have those storage containers within, 2 of them are within the rear setback, again, for this limited period of time. And that setback area where the storage containers are would abut the DeLuigi storage areas where they have many container type of vehicles located in that area. It's also behind an existing retaining wall that was constructed, again, back during site plan approval in 2019. And then we're requesting approval to have one of the containers adjacent to the building. So once the building is constructed, it'll be more conforming to the bylaw than what we have now as far as the building is concerned. The containers will all be removed, and we will have certainly a neater and more compliant site. Site plan approval from the planning board is required. So should this board grant the relief that we're seeking, we will still have to go through full site plan approval with the planning board, and I believe you received engineering department comments where they did not have any objection, but noted that we would have to go through the stormwater permit process as well. So at this point, I would like to turn it over to Jay Polakowitz, and he can walk you through the plan.
Thank you.
Good evening. Jay Plekowitz with Hancock Associates. So as Nancy mentioned, this site back in 2018 was a single-family home. We went through the process of turning it into a contractor's yard, but left that single-family home as it was. We're now coming back to, modify the site once again to make it more of a normal contractor's storage yard and building. So this building, the proposed building, as you can see, is not a rectangle. It has been designed to fit within those zoning setbacks to the maximum extent practicable. It's going to be a steel building, so for the most part, they need to be in whole numbers, which is why we're getting that 22-foot setback versus the 25. The site is sloping from the north to south, so plan right to plan left. We're proposing a retaining wall around the outside of the site to flatten out the slope that is out there currently so that materials can be stored in that area. We had gone through the Zoning Board of Appeals, site plan review and engineering stormwater permit process back in 2018. And we'll be expanding upon the drainage systems and utilities that we had installed and gotten permitted back then. And I think that's about all that I have. We are going to be developing these plans even further once we get into the planning board stages of the process. And I can answer any questions that anyone may have on the design.
Very good, thank you. That's it, Attorney McCann? All right, before I turn this over to the board, I have a couple, or at least one thing I would like to bring up. Brian, can you bring up that fuel container picture? So I did a site visit over the weekend to this site, and I have other questions that I'll wait to ask because they may get ferreted out by the other board members. But there's a fuel container on this site that is not registered with the town. And I just think there's kind of a lot going on at this site that, considering you were before us in 2018, and I will, actually, before I go on, the 5 regular members will be voting on this, and we just got the prior decisions from 2000 and 2018 just before we arrived here tonight. So I'm still kind of reviewing those a little as well. But are you, Attorney McCann, if you could go to the mic, are you aware of this, I think it's called a fuel caddy? Is that what I saw? Brian's, there's some photos he'll bring up if needed, but I'm assuming the applicant is aware of it. I'm assuming you're not, because it's not permitted with the town, and it is required to be permitted with the town.
Okay, Mike, do you have any information about that?
If he's going to speak, have him at
Yes.
the mic and identify himself.
Right.
Technical difficulties over there.
Yes, I have one.
If you could just identify yourself, please.
I'm Michael Seelig, owner of MJS Property Group. I have a diesel on site. I did not know I had to register it. I apologize. It's an above ground.
Yep,
Okay.
I fully saw it, so I'm just,
Now, whatever I need to do, I can. I did not
again,
know
I
that.
think, there it is there.
Yeah.
The fuel cube, that's what the name I was looking for.
Whatever I need to do.
Our planning director did verify with fire prevention in town that it is not registered with the town. And is subject to be registered, I believe, is the way he worded it, not us.
Where do I go to do that?
Well, I'll let you work that out, I guess, with the planning department,
Oh, okay.
fire
I'll
department.
do that tomorrow.
But that's Attorney McCann, that, and I think, I just will say it this way, considering this last request for relief, it's only 7 years old, I find it a little troubling that there's 3 storage containers on site and a lot of other things going on site that I don't believe was part of the 2018 agreement. So I'll leave it at that. I am going to turn it over to the board for questions, and I'll start down there with you, Chris.
The only question I had is, it's got 4 containers you're looking to have behind the existing
3,
3.
yes.
And is that 3 from, so 2 would be outside of the property line? Or the setback, I'm sorry? And 1 within the setback?
Yes, we would be able to do that. So at the one closest to the lot line,
Yep.
plan north, if you will, could be removed, and we would just
So right now, the one closest to the house is gone, or would be gone. I think what I'm trying to say is, once you demolish that existing house and you start building the new structure, it looks as if one of those storage containers is gonna be in the way of the new structure. So is that still gonna be on-site and needed as the new structure is being built?
Jay, can you respond to whether some of these containers will be able to stay? They will certainly not be needed once the building is constructed, but during the course of construction,
It just looks as if the third one, the one would be closest to the existing house, is gonna be in the way of the new structure.
right. Jay, can you speak to that?
So back in 2018, when we had redesigned this site, initially we had focused on just the planned left-hand side of it, and that's developed, and we're maintaining what was done previously. Now we're just expanding to that right side. These storage containers are somewhat mobile with equipment, so they could be shifted over temporarily to just move out of that location during demolition and construction, and move back as needed. It is a very small and tight site, so there's not really many options where you can put these.
Okay.
Does that answer it, Chris?
Yes, thank you.
And just for clarity, there's 3 on site currently, but you're looking for 4?
No.
Or you're just gonna reduce that request to 3?
That's correct.
And out of the 3, 1 will be in the setback, or 2 will be in the setback? If this is allowed.
Yeah. Jay, can we take only 1 in the setback?
Because it looks to me, to Chris's point, maybe you don't want the one closest to the new structure you're building for the ease of building it, and you
Right.
still want the 2 in the setback. So I
Yeah.
just would like clarity. You're going to 3, but where are the 3?
Jay, does it make sense to have the 2 remain in the setback and give us some breathing room on the side of the building? So that will.
Looking for 2 in the setback, but
2
only
in
a
the-
total of 3.
Right, but by doing that, we eliminate one of the requests, which is the request to have the container adjacent to the building. So we can eliminate one of the requests. I believe that is
that
a
under the
special
special
permit.
permit you-
Yes, I believe that's under the
Okay.
special permit. So we won't need that, but we would still.
We're here to
keep
solve
the 2.
problems.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
Chris, any additional?
Nope, I'm all set.
Karine?
Thank you.
Attorney McCann, could you explain why this application was kind of written this way and why we have an alternative with regard to either a finding or a special permit? Was this a situation where you thought it should be one way and maybe the planning department thought it should be another? Or are you giving us 2 options because we're not sure which one applies?
The bylaw is contradictory.
Okay.
And it has special permit in one place and variance in the other, and I just wanted to cover all the bases. I believe that how this has been interpreted in the past is that if you have more than 2, it is a special permit. However, the way the bylaw is written, that's not clear. So I wanted to be sure. I asked for the variance just in case I needed it, but I really think it's been interpreted as a special permit in the past. But the bylaw, this section has, I can point it out to you if you want to know exactly what I'm talking about, but it's not clear whether it should be a variance or a special permit. The design requirements, let me grab the bylaw.
Actually, Brian, could you put it up? It's on page 39, if the website is the
And
same.
if I could, so Attorney McCann, you're talking strictly on storage containers?
Yes.
Okay.
So if you look page 39, you go up to page 40. So, section 2, in cases, let's say, A maximum of 2 storage containers shall be allowed by right in the district. That's under section 2. Then it says that you can get a special permit for any of the performance standards, which is section C. And the number of units is not under the performance standards section. It's under section 2A, which I just wanted to be careful and make sure I covered all the bases. I think it means that I may need a variance for the number of storage containers because it's not under the performance standards.
Well, that might be true, but we've never actually given a variance. It's
Yeah.
only been special permit. But if you look under the performance standards
Yeah.
and go to number 10,
Yep.
it does say storage containers associated with an active construction site which have a building permit in good standing shall not be considered an accessory structure and may be located on parts of the site where accessory structures would otherwise be prohibited.
Yep.
So, and again, this is the first time we've, or at least I have, dealt with these storage containers being, like not in, or actually in the setback. So that, to me, means that you don't really need relief as long as you have that active building permit as far as where you're going to locate them. Now, the number and the length of time that you're going to have them would require a special permit, but I don't really think you need a variance in this case. At least, I don't believe so.
And I would be happy with that determination.
And we would be happy. I think
as
we'd
I
rather not
read-
give a variance.
As I read number 10, that says to me, storage containers associated with construction.
Well, these are, because you're basically storing the stuff that would ordinarily be in the building, right?
During
Because
construction.
during construction. And that would also mean that, again, once the construction is done, you no longer need them because what's being stored in them will now be in the building.
But I think, Karine, I think I would point it out this way. Does that now put you under the 180-day clock, which you don't want, it sounds like?
Well, I've asked for relief on the 180-day
But through special permit
Through a
or through
special-
variance?
Through a special permit, I would
Yeah,
say.
so it sounds like
Through the special
I think we
permit.
have a little more latitude on a special permit.
Right.
And I think what Karine's saying, if I'm hearing her correctly, is the setback variance isn't required because as long as you're under construction, these containers can go anywhere.
That would be, if that is the
But I will
determination
also
of
go
this
out to
board,
Brian on that to
then-
make sure they see it that
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, because I interpreted those storage containers associated with an active construction site, even though the storage containers are for the business, not for the construction.
Right, got it.
If that's how you interpret it, and
Well,
how that,
I think you've highlighted something worthy of, I think, all of us looking at, right? There's a little bit of a contradiction, I guess.
I would say
Loophole, maybe, if you
There's
want.
some gray area. I think, I thought it would be safe for 2 reasons to at least, that you could at least put it in there, simply because you could put these storage containers technically anywhere. You don't necessarily have to put them in the setback. So the bylaw would want a process for that. And if you have a choice to put a storage container anywhere else, but you have to put it in that setback, it should at least be reviewed by the board. So that's why I thought, and also this is, you saw it, it's an extremely oddly shaped lot where it
Right.
squeezes in multiple ways. So this is actually makes sense for a shape variance. So I thought it made
Because of the
sense.
shape of the
I thought it made sense that there's no harm in asking for that, because I think that's the most the most conservative way to look at it.
Is with the variance.
Specifically for breaking of the setback,
Containers
not
in the
necessarily for the
setback.
number, because that probably should, I think that's clearly a special permit. It's the question of whether or not, in terms of the gray area, is what to do when you have a temporary container that's breaking a setback. You probably could make it a special permit, but it probably makes more sense, in my opinion, for a variance.
Okay, well, we got to try to attempt to get the language right on this if it does go through. But anyways, Karine, more questions?
How long do you anticipate this project to last?
Oh, maximum of a year. We're hoping we can get it done in the 6 months, in the 180 days. But we do have to go through site plan approval and the stormwater permit process, so that can add some time. Once we get those permits in place, it should move along quickly, although we may be in the middle of winter. So that's why I've said maximum a 1 year, but it could be less than that.
Okay. And would you take as a condition, if we were to grant up to a year, that if it's done before the year, then those storage containers have to leave?
Absolutely.
Okay. No further questions?
Thank you, Corinne. Ken?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So I think we're going to keep talking about the storage containers. So this is my issue with the variance. If the new building is complete, then the storage containers are supposed to be removed. But really, if he could say, I have a variance for storage containers, I'm going to put one up. Because the variance stays with the property forever.
Not if the condition is that during the construction. So first of all, you're giving it for a year.
Potentially.
Or so the proposal is for a year. So there's a time limit on that. It can't run for with the property if it has a time limit on it.
Right. So,
And this is the weird part, I guess, of why maybe it shouldn't be so this is kind of the other side of it, is that there should be a process for something like this, meaning you're breaking a setback, you have a choice to break it, you don't have, should be something that, maybe we just squarely make that a special permit, which could be
Gives
an
us,
option
yeah,
that
the
probably makes sense for this specific, very
Something.
specific performance standard. Temporary trailers in the setback, like literally that specific.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, there would be some unintended consequences.
Precisely. And then I just have a curiosity question. So was this rezoned, this whole street, highway corridor? How did they get away with putting a single-family home there?
Oh, no, so this, yeah.
Must have been-
I think we looked it up, it was like
Predates it, yeah.
06, 05.
That's
05.
That's when they
Early
rezoned?
2000s, the
Right.
whole highway
This
corridor.
was residential.
Right.
So, yeah, so there
Because the
was,
plans dated 2000, so.
and if you look over the years, this whole street, Pope's specifically,
Right,
has been
right.
changing over because the zoning wants it to be highway corridor, the zoning
Yeah.
wants it to be these
get it.
types of uses. So people are, that's what it's calling for.
Okay.
Because you probably, just
Right,
that.
Right. Okay, no further questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Ken. Ken J.
Has the scaffolding and all that, there was some debris on the right side. I think it was pile of scaffolding. Is that gone?
Is it,
This is before the last time you came here, like 6 months ago or something.
No,
Scaffold.
I thought it,
Not this site.
not this,
yeah,
No.
maybe.
I
This
don't,
is a new.
I think it's a
you're
different
thinking
site.
of Across the
20.
street.
Oh, okay, maybe.
There's been a
Right,
lot of
sorry about
activity,
Yeah, on the
not on
street.
this site, but like on this street.
Can you bring up
We've-
the
we've-
other
The planning
pho-
board's seen 3 or 4 applications here.
Can you bring up the other photos, the one on the right side?
So you have no scaffolding there?
Yeah, not that I'm aware of, but there is a lot. Do you
Well,
have other
this is,
questions besides
this
Ken?
is a contractor's yard, and by definition, outdoor storage of heavy equipment, materials, all that sort of thing is permitted under the bylaw. So there will be things outside. That's why we think once we get the building built, that will allow some indoor storage. It's going to make it a lot neater.
Not this one, Brian.
The one before?
I had sent 2 emails today, was the second email.
Got it.
Do you have additional questions?
I don't have any more questions.
Becky?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Could you just confirm the size of the new building?
The size of the new building.
I didn't see it quickly when I was. I see pictures of it.
Yeah, let's see. We have 2 sections of the building, and it looks like
Without me scaling it, it's hard to.
one is, you've got that in the packet, it gives the dimensions, so 35 by 70 and 15 by 30, so it's 2 sections that will fit together. So 35 by 70.
Is this what you were talking about?
No, it's the next email,
And
not that one.
what did I say? 15 by 30? Roughly 3,000 square feet, a little under. Does that sound right, Mike? 2,900,
2,900,
yes.
okay. And the site, what is
Last one you
the
said.
intention? Is it gonna be all paved? Is it gonna be, I'm sure that you'll go through this with planning board, but,
So, well,
So the existing, I'll call it the left side, it's the southern side of the site now is paved with a drainage system below it. The new storage area that we're proposing is going to be 3/4 inch crushed stone to help with infiltration.
so the right side is gonna be crushed stone and the
Yeah.
left side is gonna be pavement?
Yep, so you can see that in the plan that we have, I guess not the storage container plan.
On the site plan that you have up, you'll see kind of a bubbled section. I won't call it crosshatch, but it's kind of like that in the upper.
I'm looking at the new site plan with the new building on it.
So that, look at the other sheet.
Yeah, okay, on the
Next
other
sheet.
one. So the other part will be gravel, it'll remain that way?
Yes.
So, yeah, right now it's a gravelly material. We're replacing it with 3/4 inch crushed stone.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
thank you. And,
But I don't have anyone after that
Okay.
one, but, yeah.
Mr. Chairman, if I could we have the storage container portion of the bylaw back up for just a second?
Sure.
So I can ask my question more precisely, and I'll appreciate that, Brian, thank you. So I think I understand the reason for asking for a variance, because when I look at this, it appears to me that the purpose of the special permit is to increase the number of days for which the containers are allowed. It does not make mention of a special permit. If you could just go down to the commercial zone, thanks. So, in cases where containers are requested to be placed for more than 108 consecutive calendar days on any commercial industrial zoned parcel, more than once per calendar year, indoor cannot meet the performance standards, special permits. So a special permit is for performance standards. Number is not a part of the performance standards. And number of days and number of containers are separate issues entirely. So I think looking at this, my opinion is that a special permit cannot be granted for a number of containers because it is not something the bylaw gives us the right to grant a special permit for. Understanding that the history of this board may be different, but I would say that going beyond the scope of the bylaw in the past is not a great reason to continue to do it. And so then, if we're then at a variance for the number of containers, I guess I can understand soil shape topography for the building, but the number of containers seems to just be about the need of the business more than soil shape or topography. Am I looking at that wrong?
I think in this case where we have such an irregularly shaped lot and we have really constraints in order to be able to put additions on the building to accommodate that. Remember, this is a half-acre lot in a zoning district where the minimum lot size is an acre. So we're already constrained and have a hardship, I'll use that term, because we have acre-sized setbacks imposed on a half-acre lot.
I see.
And so we're just, as you could see on that one plan, when you put the setback lines on there, there's very little area here. So in order to, where in some cases we could have put a quick addition on the side of the building or something, we can't do that here. So we've got to do this overall change, take an existing building down and construct a new, more conforming building, but a new building. So I would say, in this case, the limitations of the lot because of the shape, to some extent the topography, but mostly the shape, really would support the need for a third storage container for a very limited period of time.
And then again, if it were a variance, in order to not substantially derogate from the purpose, right? C seems to be really explicit. Containers shall meet the required zoning setbacks, and setting aside arguments about the meaning of shall as an imperative or a future tense verb, I guess, would we substantially derogate from the intent if we go the other way from that shall for the setback?
And I think in this case, again, not because of the hardships with the shape, but also in this case, we have got an existing large retaining wall that go right along that lot line behind which these containers will be. They are also in the back of the lot, so they're not going to be visible. So I think in this case, it won't substantially derogate from the intent or purpose of the bylaw.
And then in the decision and the minutes from 2018, it looks like at the time you said there was no intent for outdoor storage, even though
Right.
For a contractor's yard it's allowed. It looks further from the discussion of the board like there might have been the intent to actually put that as a condition in the decision, but it never really made it into the decision.
Right. That was an interesting decision, the 2018, because what that decision said is that this lot, which is undersized, can be used for any purpose that is permitted by right or by special permit in the zoning bylaw. And there was discussion in there about not intending to have outdoor storage, but that didn't make it in as a condition. But then after that, a special permit for the contractor's yard was sought by the planning board, who is the special permit granting authority for a contractor's yard, and that allowed the outdoor storage. So the 2018 decision was kind of this interesting animal that just this board granted a very general relief to allow, and it was because of the size of the lot. We have half the required area, and that applicant wanted some free rein to know that any use that is permitted in the highway corridor by right or by special permit would be allowed here. And there wasn't any real discussion of what that use might be.
When was the planning board decision?
The planning board decision was 2019. I have that. Hang on. Yeah, that was a special permit and site plan approval. 2019 special permit, March 28, 2019, which was a special permit for a contractor's yard requested by Michael Seelig for improvements to the site and it included retaining wall, fenced area, new sewer system, second driveway entrance, landscaped areas, and then coupled with that was a separate decision for site plan approval.
Yeah, and I think it's very possible that the text of the zoning bylaw, the intent of the text was to allow this board to grant relief through special permit, temporarily for the number of containers. It's very possible that was the intent. I don't, unfortunately, I do not see that in the black letter meaning there of it. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
You got it, thank you. Attorney McKenna, we'll start first with a statement. I'm glad your applicant is doing well and the business is thriving. However, I do have, I really do have an issue with the fact that clearly there's 3 containers on site currently that have been there more than 180 days. We have illegal fuel storage on site, and now you're here before this board asking for more things. So what is going to prevent this from happening in the future? Because it didn't prevent it in the 2018 decision by this board or the 2019 decision by the planning board, meaning the applicant, and again, I'm glad he's being successful, but he's done pretty much whatever he wants at this site and has not come to the town for anything.
Well, I wouldn't agree with you there. He got site plan approval, and
He didn't get site plan approval for 3 storage containers.
no, he got site plan approval for the improvements, and he made those improvements to the site. The storage container, I don't know when the storage container bylaw went into effect. That, was that after? May have been after. But he does need zoning relief.
06.
It was 06 on the storage containers?
Yes.
He needs
No
a,
argument there, right?
no argument there. And that's why we're here, right? And what we're here for is not asking for storage containers in perpetuity.
Understood, but
We're here
my
for-
question is, what's going to prevent it from happening? Again, because it's already happening.
The project eliminates the need for storage
All right,
containers.
would you take a condition to have this board review after a year of operation?
Sure.
Okay. I do want to ask about stormwater drainage. So the 2018 decision, I believe, put it, you were under stormwater control for that decision? And what has to change, or what is the need for change on that with this new building, demoing the residential house and putting this new building in?
I'll let Jay speak to this, but to put it in layman's terms, we have a new stormwater bylaw that was not in effect back in 2019.
Okay.
And it is somewhat the position of the town, whenever you move dirt, you have to get a stormwater permit and deal with that process. We will certainly be moving dirt here, so that's going to trigger the stormwater.
I understand that, but so do we anticipate a drastic change in what's already there in place, or it's just a tweaking of it?
Do you mind going to the other plan? Thank you. Right, that's good. So as I mentioned before, back in 2018, 2019, we'd really focused on the left side of the site. Now we're focusing on the right side. So we do have a subsurface stormwater chamber that was approved by the engineering department back in 2019. So this building was designed to be mostly outside of that. The last row will have to be relocated to just, rather than being 3x4, it's going to be 4x3 essentially. So we are maintaining that system with minor modifications. We'll be connecting the roof into there. There are existing catch basins out there. One will remain, one will be relocated again. So we're trying to maintain that system there.
Okay, and while you're up there, so on my site visit yesterday, I noticed quite a bit of trenching going on in what I guess you guys will call Lot 1. And a lot of, I guess, I'm not even sure, some type of wood storage container. What's all that about? What's happening there? Are you familiar with that?
So some of the wood is an encroachment from the abutter. You can see that in the top right of our plan.
What are we doing to solve that?
We're going to, Mike is going to have to talk to his neighbor about getting that off. That is within our limit.
I
of
mean,
work.
we're not in litigation or anything to that. Okay. Because that, I get the impression when I looked at it yesterday that that's on your property and what's going on here, along with dredging. And is that permitted right now? I guess I don't understand how any work's going on.
Mike, do you want to speak to
Maybe
that?
Attorney McCann could speak to that?
Michael Seelig again. The right side, we had an opportunity with some fill to be removed close by. We were checking on ledge to see where we are, to how far we can go down. So we had material removed on that right side.
Is there a permit in place?
Not for digging. There shouldn't be any permit needed for digging. We're not constructing anything. I am going to be asking, which I was going to talk to them in regards to possibly putting up the wall before anything's happening anyways, to try to beat the year before the winter comes in.
All right, well, hold on. Let me go out to our planning director. I don't, is that accurate? He can dig without permitting?
I mean, I mean, if it's not a specific trench, I think what you're talking about specifically is a trench permit if you're doing utilities, but they're not doing utilities, they're just doing some regrading. It's basically, or it would be classified as regrading. But there's no doubt, we do have a memo from engineering saying that they require stormwater and a water and sewer permit. So they're gonna make them, well, they're certainly gonna have to submit a whole bunch of drainage calcs, regrading, all of that. But no is the short answer. They do not need a permit to essentially do some regrading unless it had probably
Well,
county jurisdiction. which
that
is
looks a little more extreme than regrading.
I have not seen, so
Well,
I
that
don't know
that
what.
was
what-
one of the photos I sent you, but I mean, that doesn't look like regrading to
No,
me.
we're bringing down.
There's
the
there's a
level.
channel, it's probably 8 feet wide, yes?
Yeah, it's the right side of the property shown here. We're assessing the ledge, being able to see how far we're able to come down, because we have some preliminary drawings showing steep incline where the rear building would be not accessible. And we're in hopes, by doing this for the next meeting, we'd be able to bring down the grade to the lower level.
So you're just trying to hog that whole hill out, it sounds like.
Eventually, yes.
But your neighbor, your butter, needs to get their material off. A portion of it, I guess, is what you guys are telling us.
No, I spoke with Chris. He's on the side.
I thought you just told me that they were encroaching.
Not no longer.
Okay, so,
Yeah.
so what I saw yesterday, all that material that's on your butter's property, not your own.
Correct.
Okay.
The logs, yes.
That
Yes.
answers that. Okay. Attorney McCann, I would also ask, I guess, the condition that regardless of how we go, and not to wait on if this board approves this, that this fuel storage situation is addressed within 30 days.
Yes.
Is that something you would
Fine.
make?
Sure.
And by the way, besides the fuel cube, there's quite a bit of other gasoline storage containers there. Again, I get it's a contractor yard, but fuel storage, I think we've got to, be a little bit better at. It's just, I'll take a
That-
guess, 30 containers of fuel.
That
Whether
will
they're
be
empty
a-
or not, I don't care, right?
We would certainly take a condition that will be
Okay.
addressed within 30 days, and through that process, the fire department will come out.
Sure.
And they will see
Okay,
what's
and that's
going
what,
on.
obviously, that's what we're all looking for.
Right.
Safety on top of everything else.
Yep.
I don't believe I have any additional questions. I'll go back to the board, though. Yeah, go ahead, Kareem.
Attorney McCann, could you discuss the difference between the finding and the special permit with regard to the construction? The demolition, I believe, and the construction of the new building?
Yes.
Sorry, this is just for you guys to open it.
All right. I tried to address this
Thank you.
in, it all comes down to a little bit of conflict under the bylaw, too, and I was trying to cover the bases here. So a finding under Section 3.11 allows the reconstruction of a building which will result in a reduction in the nonconformity. In the alternative, there is a special permit permitted under Section 313A3 when you're talking about a voluntary demolition. So that's a special permit for a voluntary demolition, or we can do a reconstruction under 311. I think we typically do a finding for a reconstruction under 311 because we are taking the building down but replacing it with a building that is more conforming. I think
Okay.
that's typically the way it is, but the bylaw gives us some choices. And again, that because of some inconsistencies in the bylaw, the application seems a bit more complicated than it really needs to be. We're taking down a non-conforming building, we're putting up a more conforming building, and we're requesting some leeway to have 3 storage containers for a very limited period of time.
Yes, and I agree. I'd rather the finding than the special permit, and then I'd rather the special permit than the variance, or no special permit at all, if possible, but, okay, all right. Just trying to figure out exactly what you're looking for. And, Mr. Chair, could I ask the planning director?
Sure, yeah, go ahead.
Brian, which one would you select?
It's what's behind
It's actually
door
all 3, and I'll explain it. So, the finding is needed for the non-conforming structure. You have one non-conforming structure, it's also going to be non-conforming, that's a finding. So you need a finding for the non-conforming structure.
And that's just on the building piece of
That's
it.
the building piece,
Yep.
that, because, yeah, so
That's
it's very clear on that one.
Okay.
The variance is the only thing that is kind of, it's a gray area, and I made a call. So I'm not gonna go there yet. The special permit is needed, I believe, for the numbers, for the number, because it's specific.
Oh, no.
Sorry?
That's like a completely separate issue.
Yes.
What
with
Attorney
the
McCann,
building,
right,
yes.
with regard to the
With
building.
regard to the building, it's,
I think it's a finding.
It's right here, it's
Right.
311, it's the
Yeah,
ZBA may
311.
award a finding by a simple majority to reconstruct, extend, alter, or change a non-conforming structure, full stop.
Okay, all right, so you agree too that it's a finding?
Yes.
Okay, all right. That's all I wanted.
Sorry.
Thank you.
That's okay,
I was ready
that's
to just
okay.
dive right in there, so,
Thank you.
okay.
Thank you, Corinne. Any board members additional questions? And I just want to recap this all for Danvers cable, people in the audience here. So we're seeking a finding on the building replacement. We're seeking a special permit because we're asking for a third container where 2 is allowed. And I don't want to tie this into site plan review on the length of time. So I am going to ask you to define that, and I believe if I heard you correctly, you're asking for 1 year.
Yes.
Okay. And
There's one more thing.
somebody help me with the variance, because that's
So,
what
yeah,
I'm.
so the variance, I believe, is needed because the storage can, at least one of the storage, or is it both?
Two.
2 storage containers will be in the setback.
Right.
Okay, so the
So
variance is due to the setback and the location of those storage containers. And I
Correct.
will ask this final question, and then we will turn it over to the public. Or can, I guess. Hold on, let me just ask. Is there an opportunity to not put these containers in the setback at all during construction? Because to me, if we can put them to the left side of the site or somewhere else, I get the site's limited.
No, I'll-
But then that they can go away as soon as the construction is complete.
I would ask Jay that question. I think he located them there so that they would be as out of the way as possible during the construction and to provide the
So the
storage.
answer is, this is the only place we can put them, and that's why we've selected in the setback.
Yes.
Okay. And
I would say it'd be pretty hard to circumscribe a new build site to get in there if you had it in, for instance, within the building and, within the building setbacks, you're talking about basically to the left, to that triangle. It would be logistically much more hard to just even build the building.
Okay, and Ken, I'm gonna let you ask your question, because I have a couple more.
And on the variance, we can put a time constraint.
Yes,
Well, I think it's going in the special permit. Yes?
well, no, so the,
No, we
so
wanna
the,
do it
t-
on the variance.
No, the
Not on
variance
the
would,
variance.
it'd still be for the location of it, but for the time, you would, yeah.
It
So
would be
it's a
in the
variance
special.
for the location, meaning if you're gonna allow it in the setback. But in terms of the time, that's with the special permit.
Length of time would be in the special.
Length of time is special permit.
Can I ask?
Yeah, go ahead.
So if we granted a variance with no time limit,
That's what I said.
right? So, follow me on this. So let's say that we've now allowed a variance for them to go into the setback. 5 years from now, they come back and they say, we would really like to build a permanent structure in the setback. And now the standard before us is we're deciding on a finding because they already have the variance and they can go into the setback,
No.
right?
I mean,
I think
it's
so,
still
because
tied to a temporary
we're telling
trailer.
them they can only have it for a year.
It's still tied to a temporary trailer.
That's what I mean about a time
Well, they could
constraint.
do another temporary
Well, hold on,
trailer.
hold on, people. Finish your thought.
So I guess what I'm afraid of is the variance stays with the land forever, right? So without some kind of constraint there, I'm worried that anything else that would go into that setback, all that's required then is a finding.
No, because it does not become a nonconformity by variance.
Yeah, that's in
So,
our
I see,
bylaw,
I
that's
see.
in our bylaw as well as
Can't
many other
become that.
bylaws, that just because it has a variance, it does not become
Got
what's
it. It
called
would
a
have,
pre-existing
it would have to be a
non-conforming.
pre-existing nonconformity. Okay.
So you can't, yeah, but either way,
Well-
what they're asking for is still a time.
Okay. Thank you for waking me up from the nightmare I conjured
Sure.
in my own mind.
Attorney McCann, two follow-up questions. What are the hours of operation on the site currently, and will they change if this is granted?
7 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Monday through Friday, and that will not change.
Okay, and inevitably, neighbors usually have an issue because work is getting done prior to 7 a.m., and we're pretty confident that's not happening right now.
Yes.
Okay, and the material that will go in these containers, is it material from the business because we need a place to put it, or is it construction, or is it both? Asking good questions, aren't I?
It's due to just me growing in size, and I'm just exploding off the property, so I'm trying to.
No, but I understand. So once this building gets torn down.
Yep.
What's going in these containers? Is it the contents of the house?
Oh, no, the storage,
So all the things I saw there yesterday
it's going in.
are
inside
going
the
in those
building.
containers?
That's all going inside
So you're
the
gonna
building.
work out of these containers or attempt to work out of these containers while construction's going on? Or is
No.
it just getting locked and keyed until you open up again?
Yes.
Got it.
Correct.
Okay. Are we good?
I think so.
All right, I am gonna go out to the public on this.
But
Oh, sorry.
One more thing.
You
I'm
didn't-
still
you
hooked on
didn't
that.
say, Ken.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Still hooked up on that variance. So is there gonna be you're gonna put a time condition also on the variance?
So it would, even though there are multiple, there's multiple things that are being asked for, I would think there would have to be a time on all of it. The variance, you're just allowing it to go into the setback,
Setback.
but the timing is based upon the special permit. So you would put a day's amount for the special permit. The variance is it's for a temporary temporary trailer subject to the special permit, subject to a
So they're
number of
linked
days as
together.
well.
So they're not mutually exclusive, they're tied together?
Yes. Yes. you
Okay,
can-
so when a
it's
special
whatever, it's
permit
whatever
is
way
over,
you
then
guys feel
that's over.
comfortable. We can do it either way, but there's no doubt that a time limit needs to be put on the special permit. The variance that they're requesting is related to where it's located.
So pretty much, if I were to say, after the year expired, the variance no longer exists?
I would
That's
I would
not
say
the
the temporary
definition, though.
trailers they're no longer temporary and in violation of the decision. It's more of a condition.
Could we,
Attorney McCann, is that how you see this? Are we
Uh,
all on the same page here?
I think we are all on the same page here, but I will say that we have presented the idea that these containers will be on site on no more than a year. If you wanted to put that condition also in the variance, that's fine.
I think
Okay.
we should. yeah.
That would make you feel more
I think that
comfortable
kind
and
of puts
answer
some
any
of our board
questions.
members at ease.
That would be perfectly fine.
Okay, thank you.
That's all I wanted anyway.
I think we've made three members very happy with that, requirement that you would take as a condition. All right, I'm gonna turn this over to our public portion, and we are here on 25 Pope's Lane. If you'd like to speak, please raise your hand and go to the microphone and identify yourself. Okay, there's nobody here that would like to speak publicly. Oh, is there someone online?
I'll just hold on.
Holden,
No, nobody.
nobody online.
Or not nobody. No one's wanting to speak.
Nobody would like to speak, okay. Well, I can say, Attorney McCann, this has been interesting theater, I guess, with a lot of the dialogue here that has gone on. Members, I will close the public portion, public comment part, and before we deliberate, I just want to point out that we have asked, that the applicant has asked for three different things: finding, variance, special permit. And Attorney McCann, in case I don't recap this correctly, help me out. You're going to take a condition that within 30 days, we have permitting by the town for the fuel storage and also inspection by the Danvers Fire Department. That you have taken, help me out, there was a couple other conditions I think I threw at you. We already agreed that the special permit would be a 1 year, and we would also add that into the variance. Did I miss something?
There was also 10 or 11 fuel containers.
Well, I don't know. I think we'll leave that up to the fire department what that
Okay, so they're
regulation
gonna look
is.
around everywhere?
Yeah, they'll do a site inspection. Was there other conditions we added?
Yes, if the construction is completed in under a year, the storage containers have to leave. So even though it's up to a year, once the construction's done, they have to leave.
And that we would
What do you,
at a date of your convenience, when construction is complete, that we'd have a one-year check-in with the ZBA. So those are the conditions I've asked for, and you have agreed to.
1 year condition, 1 year time limit on the variance.
That's right, those have both been stated. Okay.
So it's a one-year check-in after occupancy permit, right?
Yes.
Right.
It's 1 year on the variance and the setback for the containers. It's 1 year on on the special permit for the fact that there's 3 containers.
Right, which is, I would suggest maybe the condition would be worded the earlier of
That's it.
1 year or completion of the construction.
Sounds good. Is that all clear to our board members?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Chris, I started with you, so we will deliberate, and I ask that we're not interrupted.
Even though I am not voting correct tonight,
No, I've asked the 5 regular, you're still sitting regular member.
with all the stipulations that have been set about, I think I would be voting in favor of this at this time. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Corinne?
I am clearly on board with the finding and with the special permit, and that's typically how we handle these storage containers. I don't really think, based on C10, that you need the variance, but I'm certainly not going to hold you up if everyone else is going to vote for it. But, one of the conditions of 10 is that obviously there needs to be a building permit in good standing. And as you even stated, in order to get the certificate of occupancy, the building inspector would come out, and that's when he would make sure that those storage containers would be removed, because once the building permit is signed off, then they would have to leave. But again, if everyone else is comfortable with the variance, I guess I would be too, but it's not the way I would go, anyway.
You are in favor?
Of the first two, I'm still on the fence with the variance because I don't really think we need it.
Could I ask a question on that? On the item number 10, we have to have a building permit in good standing. It's going to be a little while before we get that, because we have to go through site plan approval and then apply, and stormwater, and we want to be legal with our storage containers now for the period of 1 year or earlier if the building is completed. So I'm afraid if we don't get the variance and we rely on number 10 and say we don't need it, we don't have that building permit right now, and we may not have it 3 months, 4 months. So I don't want to be out of compliance then.
Well, when you're talking about the year, when will the year commence?
The year would commence now, because that's a building in enough time to
Okay.
get the site plan approval. But this item number 10 requires the building permit in hand now, and we probably won't have that for 3 or 4 months.
Okay, all right. Again, I don't really like to give variances when we're talking about storage containers, and they seem to be a hot issue now around town, not just on this street, but other locations as well. But I guess if we have a time restraint or constraint on it, I would be a yes.
And don't forget, we're going to get a check-in as well.
Okay.
Ken?
Yeah, I will vote for this with the time constraints, especially on the variance.
Thank you, Ken. Ken J?
I'll vote for this too. I hope this doesn't set some sort of precedent. I don't think it will for the variance, because, we'll take it case by case anyways, but I'm just saying, it's a slippery slope when you start giving out variances for storage containers. But with all of the with all of the stipulations, all the conditions that our chairman had stated, I'll I'll vote for this.
Thank you, Ken. Becky?
And I would agree. I think it's time to get this site cleaned up, and I think it's important. I'm also uncomfortable with a time limit on a variance. I don't, it's either it is a variance or it isn't a variance. I'm not real comfortable with a time limit on it. So I don't know how we resolve it, but that's my comment.
Thank you, Becky. And Kevin?
I am not voting tonight, but I'll share my thinking because one day I might. I would be in favor of the finding. The building is less non-conforming. The future building is less non-conforming than what's there now. For the portion of the special permit that essentially mirrors the finding, sure. Same thing, just a slightly different section of the bylaw. I'm still of the opinion that I think I wish the bylaw said that the number could be handled by a special permit. I don't think it does, and so for that reason, if I were voting, I would not support that portion of the special permit. As to the variance, I wish we had given more attention to Corinne's idea that perhaps no relief is required during the period of construction. I feel like the board could handle that with a finding that we find that relief is not required during the period of construction for the containers to be in the setback. And I think that solves the problem of giving a variance forever.
Thank you. Yeah, Attorney McCann, I think this case has brought up a lot of interesting, I guess, topics. I will say, and again, I will echo what I said at the top. I believe, this is great that this business is prospering and doing well, and they're to a point where they want to expand their business, and I commend them on that. However, I don't like the fact that, we were here 7 short years ago, and we have illegal fuel storage, we have illegal containers, and we have a site that, although being a contractor yard, it's very unsightly. So I hope this addresses that, and I hope a year or whatever that date ends up being from now when we're checking in, or maybe it's 2 years, I guess, that we're going by for a site visit, and it's in much better shape, and it's not, for lack of better words, it's an eyesore right now. So I will vote in favor, but I am only voting in favor with all the conditions that we've got the applicant to agree to. And, perhaps I'll put this out on Brian, maybe we need to do some additional tweaking in our bylaws to kind of get these things to be a little tighter and easier for this board to be able to administer. So with that said, if I could get a motion, and we'll keep in mind, whoever makes the motion, please add in the conditions that the applicant has agreed to. Anyone? Any rock star amongst us?
Write it down first, so she doesn't forget.
Oh, you think I'm going to read it?
I guess
okay.
we're looking at you, Kareem.
Volunteered you.
All right, I'm just writing down all the conditions. I guess we'll start with the variance. That's the way it's listed.
Sure.
A motion to grant a temporary variance for not more than 360 days from section,
Wait, whoa, whoa.
Can I
what?
already-
Can I not
I
put
like the word
temporary?
I would say a variance for a temporary trailer,
Okay.
or a temporary storage container.
And is it 360 days? It's not
They're
3.
requesting a year, so I would say until August 25th of '26.
Okay.
I'd put a date on it.
Yeah, put the
Yeah,
date.
let's put a date. All right, restart.
Okay.
Kareem.
Motion to grant a variance for a temporary storage unit for not, until August 25th of 2026, from section 9.3 to allow 4 storage containers to be located on the property.
Wait, scratch that. It's been adjusted to 3.
Oh, wait a minute. But
Correct.
the variance is only for the 2 that are in the.
Setback.
In the setback.
Correct.
So why do we have 4 to be located on the property?
This is just how it was requested.
But we're
Oh, all right.
resetting,
Applicant.
we're resetting that to 2.
All right.
then. Oh, wait a minute, I'm checking with Attorney McCann. We've asked for 3, but only 2 are going in the setback, correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
2 in
so-
the setback,
So we're going to amend this to say 2.
2 within the setback.
2 within the setback. Sorry, Corinne.
Okay.
You're doing great.
Motion to grant a variance for a temporary storage unit until August 25th of 2026 from section 9.3 to allow for 2 storage containers to be located in the setback on a temporary basis until the proposed structure is complete, and that the proposed extension alteration is not substantially more detrimental than the existing structure to the neighborhood. Adjacent properties will not be adversely impacted. The proposal would not be detrimental to the public good and would not substantially deviate from the intent or purpose of the bylaw.
Okay, I've
second.
got a motion and a second. Any further discussion on the variance only? Hearing none. All in favor?
Excuse.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, and now,
Wait. I think Attorney,
doing it.
I think she has a
It's all right, I
change.
would just in that variance throw in the shape of the lot hardship.
Oh,
oh, right, yes. That's,
That can be put in the written decision.
Motion to reconsider.
I don't see that language anywhere.
yeah, you want to put in,
You'll have that when it goes to record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be in the written decision. It'll
the
be,
hardship is the land or structure
it's the shape of the lot. in
and
this case.
not affect other properties, a little enforcement of the zoning bylaws.
Okay.
That's what you're talking about? Okay.
Yeah.
You want us to read it?
No.
Okay. I've got a motion and a second. We already passed the variance. Now we move on to the finding, please.
And I think this one is fine the way it's
Written?
printed or typed.
We're about to
Motion-
find out.
Motion to grant a finding to tear down the existing non-conforming house and build a new structure that is more compliant with regards to side setbacks going from 9.1 feet to 22 feet, and that the proposed extension, alteration of the structure is not substantially more detrimental than the existing structure to the neighborhood.
Second.
I've got a motion and second on the finding. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, and on the special permit, we're going to put all the conditions,
Well,
correct?
but wait a minute, this has the special permit only for the demolition of the structure, because Attorney McCann had an or. So we need special permit language for
The
the
three
three
containers.
containers
In 1 year.
for not more than 1 year.
Inspection. I don't think she does, but she had.
I do have the, but it didn't have all of it. Unless, is this an updated one? No, this is the same one I have. Okay.
So we're putting in the special permit, the 1 year, we're putting in the fuel inspection by the town within 30 days. We're putting in the fact that it's 3 containers
Checking in 1 year.
in the check-in 1 year after occupancy. I believe it's those 4 additional.
Well, no, actually 5. If the
What's that?
construction is done
Yes.
before the year, then they have to come
So
down.
those 5 conditions, if you,
Okay.
all right, let it rip, Karina. You can do it.
I will try. I can't read my writing now, but that's okay. Motion to issue a special permit under Section 3 to allow for 3 storage containers to be located on the property for not more, should we keep it consistent? Up until August 25th of 2026, with the condition that the 3 storage containers will be removed once construction is completed. There will be a fuel inspection completed on the property within 30 days
Of today.
of today. That there will be a check-in within 1 year,
After occupancy.
no, within 1 year of today's date, right? Because the
No, we
construction.
want them to be in operation and then a year out from there.
Okay, a year out from when they get the CO? Okay,
Yeah. So I think we're looking at 2 years. Yeah.
okay, okay.
And they agreed to that.
With the condition that there will be a yearly check-in,
Not a yearly check-in,
well-
a check-in after 1 year.
a check-in at 1 year from the date the
Occupancy.
certificate of occupancy is issued.
Did we get them all?
That's it?
That's it.
I think you got them all.
I'll second.
Hold on.
Wait,
hold on.
wait,
She
wait,
didn't
wait.
finish yet.
No, no, no.
Sorry, I thought you were done.
Adjacent properties would not be adversely impacted. The
Yes.
proposal will not be detrimental to the public good and would not substantially deviate from the intent or purpose of this bylaw.
Now I'll second.
Now it is.
I've got a motion and I've got a second. Is there any further discussion? And we have 5 separate conditions Attorney McCann has agreed to. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? None. Attorney McCann, thank you, and good
Thank
luck
you.
with the application.
Good luck,
Thank
Mike.
you very much.
Okay.
Good luck, Mike.
And then Brian, unless you have anything else, I'll have someone make a motion to adjourn.
No, our next meeting is the September 8th.
September 8th.
We're back on the twice-a-month schedule
Yes,
now.
and
so
is that meeting,
second and
is that
fourth-
meeting here at the Toomey Room?
Yep, second and fourth Monday of every month.
Okay, motion to adjourn, please.
Motion to adjourn.
And seconded?
Second.
I second.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Good night.